Earlier we were actually calculating only on life used when compared to the life of the machine that it is to be used. If the motor has got about 30 years of life and about 5 years has already lapsed, then what we put it as 5 by 30 into depreciable value. What is depreciable value? What is the replacement value minus what is the salvage value? So if the salvage value is taken as approximately 10%, then 90% alone is depreciable. 5 by 30 into 90, which will work out to 15% as the depreciation. Clear? I think I'm giving a very simple examples, and I don't think that it should be difficult for you to understand. But however, life utilized by life expectancy of the machine into depreciable value. And depreciated value is replacement value minus depreciation value is the. Then comes the next one, obsolescence. Okay, fine. The present value of the machine is decided not only on the working condition of the machinery, which accounts for depreciation, but also due to obsolescence that has got a crucial importance since it greatly affects the value of the machinery. Obsolescence was the word which was used by the by our director in the initial stage, which has got a lot of effect. While valuing the machine, if depreciation is not considered, then we are supposed to land at a value which is erratic. If obsolescence is not considered, then also it will give a erratic result. So we must know what is obsolescence. Obsolescence is being an outdated. The obsolescence can be classified into several heads. One is functional obsolescence. Functional is, it has a function, whereas it occurs when the component fails and the whole devices stop working. It is a reduction of an object's useful and desirability because of the outdated design feature that cannot be easily changed. Consumers can mitigate losses caused by the functional obsolescence by considering the long-term usefulness of the purchased goods. Right, okay. The machinery is seldom used. The machinery is seldom replaced for their wearing and nature. They are mostly because of the development in the science and have paved way for more efficient machines. New generation machines are there to replace the old generation machines. And in what way the new generation machine is better? Just think it up. I told you that if a 1000 HP motor can be of this size earlier, and now it can be made into a small box, like. And then what are the advantages? It occupies a lesser space. It has got a greater productivity, like this. So I have listed something. Higher production, better working environment, easy to operate, easy to maintain, lesser requirement of space for installation, lesser consumption of power, lesser labor intensive, lesser risk management, lesser storage time, lesser rejection, equipped with self-control systems, pre-programmed operations, and quick work motion, duration, and so on. So, a new machine is preferred because of all these reasons than the old machine. Now, the functional obsolescence is only that. When a new machine has got so much of advantage, why do I hang over with the old machine? I can as well see that that is being discarded and I can go in for a new machine. Am I right? Am I right, sir? As anyone using a machine will go on for. In all probabilities, everyone will have a car. You may have a lot of sentimental attachments to the car. You mean to say that you will be repeatedly using the car only? Will you not go for a change? Think about ambassadors were the prime movers earlier. Now where is ambassador now? All new generation vehicles have replaced ambassadors. So when you are able to get a product functionally good to satisfy your requirement, then you go for that. So the first one becomes obsolete. It is outdated, which is not required. In general, a new machine could reduce the operational cost and offer better profit potential. It could be preferred. The factors said above pave the way for a functional obsolescence. And the easiest example that we can say is electronic equipment such as computers, biomedical equipments, controlling devices, electronic equipments, poaching machines and major mechanical devices and auto controls. Then comes economic obsolescence. Where it can happen? If there is a change in the policy of the government, not you. If there is a change in the policy of the government, and if you are not able to use a product which is already in use, there comes the economical obsolescence. We are at Calcutta today. What is a favorable product that were produced earlier here from the fields? It's jute. If I'm right? Jute was a main. Am I right or wrong? Right. So, jute bags were actually preferred earlier. Now the technology changed and HDB bags came into the picture. So a lot of people started investing on HDB. So there came a stage that the jute may lose the market. So years back, maybe about 20 years or so, government took a decision to protect the farmers and to see that the jute is being reused. They introduced an act to pack the cement only on jute bags rather than HDB bags or paper bags. Are you aware? It was the condition earlier. Now the scenario is changed. So the government imposed a policy by which a sector of industry itself failed. Now if you go for the other one, we have been telling about polythene to be used, not to be used. Carry bags to not to be used. It's a government order because it's a pollution. It makes harm to the environment. So every government has ordered not to use plastic here. What will happen to the machines that are being invested to manufacture polythene bags? What will happen? It will lose its value. The machine is good, the production is good, the consumption is also good, but the government has put an order that it is not to be used. The machinery has lost the value. There is no depreciation effect. There is a new product coming into the market. It is because of the government order you cannot use the machine. So the machine has been purchased, of the industry has been installed for several lakhs or crores. It becomes a salvage with one order being passed by the government. It is an economic obsolescence. I think I have said this. Import of palm oil had ruined the edible oil. The plants installed for extraction, refining are uncared. Am I right? Palm oil has come. Palm oil is being imported. palm oil is being used as an allergen with every oil. You cannot see sesame oil, pure sesame oil, you cannot see groundnut oil pure and rapeseed oil pure. Everywhere it is being adulterated with palm oil because palm oil mixes with every oil to any extent. So, when palm oil has been imported heavily, all extraction units of oil have become uncapped. It is a policy of the government which has made it rejection of certain products of Tamil Nadu. This is also another thing. Of Tamil Nadu in Karnataka due to Kaveri water issue has made the industry producing these parts. There are conflict between two states. The buses are being burnt for want of no reason. As a result, the particular industry in that area is not being preferred. Here, no government order. It is a clash between two governments by which a sector suffers. It is economical obsolescence. Economic obsolescence is extremely difficult to evaluate. However, it causes a steep fall in the value of the machinery that manufacture products that are banned or lost the value. Physical obsolescence occurs when the property loses the value to gross mismanagement and physical neglect resulting in deferred maintenance. That is usually a costly affair which also occurs. That's a physical obsolescence. Technical obsolescence is when a technical product or service is no longer needed or wanted, even though it could be still in a working condition. Technological obsolescence generally occurs when a new product has been created or replaced old version. And there's one more thing which is called planned obsolescence. Now, while manufacturing a product, earlier the concept was that it should be lifelong used product. Now just tell me, is there any product which is being created to that level? No. Even if a switch is taken earlier, the molded switches, I have seen switches of 100 years in my village houses. Now it is being made with a FRP, where on several operations it loses its usage. It breaks. The connection gets disconnected. The products are being manufactured in such a way that will have a lesser usage, so that the replacement will be there. As long as the replacement is not there, the new product will not move in the market. It's a very negative trend which is being used. The planned obsolescence, inbuilt in obsolescence, is a negative business strategy of internationally creating inferior products that becomes obsolete, often a certain time. Manufacturers use this strategy to push the customers to upgrade in order to drive their sales. As a result, business thrives, but it includes wasteful spending of the money. It also happens. Right. These are all major obsolescence. Now we have confined only with obsolescence of machinery. So I have not touched the rest of the parts. If you take a garment, jeans material has come, which has replaced most of the other material. Now the jeans material is being also torn and then worn to see that it is being repeatedly sold. Yeah, unwanted trend is being there to create a market for that. I can give you any number of examples on this, not only on machine. Then comes, what is the condition? What is the condition of the machine is also important. A very good condition means it can give the effect for which it has been designed, manufactured and executed. If it has to work for 100 hours, it will work for 100 hours. And it's being worked for 100 hours. That's a very good condition. There's one more condition where you remove very and say good condition. That is, if you maintain the machine, if you replace the components when and required, if it is being lubricated adequately, if rest of the components are being used in the right way, if it is being operated by a good operator, then it's a good machine. The first one is designed to produce the exact requirement as such. The second one is, if you maintain it, it will give the same result. That's a good condition. Fair condition, if a machine delivers goods lesser than the rated capacity and if it requires general repairs and or minor replacements to raise the level of utilization to the near the rated output, it is classified under a fair condition. Poor condition is the machine delivers output very much lower than the rated condition, and if the machine requires extensive repairs or replacements, it's a poor condition. What is the use of spending so much of money to see that your old machine is being rectified made into a good machine? And the component wise, if the cost of input that are going to give to make it more useful, that is more when compared to the new machine itself, then that is in the poor condition, which is not required. Then comes a scrap condition. You have no use at all. It is to be made as a scrap. So these are all the certain terminologies that we are likely to understand. Application of these factors to ascertain the present market value of the machine. Depreciation value of for the purpose of valuation is replacement value minus depreciation value. Present worth of the value of the machine can fetch on sale in the open market without any abnormal conditions of sale between a willing buyer and a willing seller. As a valuer, you might have heard about this willing seller and willing buyer. In the normal condition, without influencing anybody, if there is a market, then that is a fair market value. So, if FB be the factor of functional obsolescence, FE be the factor of economic obsolescence, and FC be the factor of condition, then depreciated value into FB, into FE, into FC is supposed to be the present worth of the machine. I have another 10 minutes. I will utilize this. Now, life expectancy. Sir, I have another 10 minutes. Don't worry. If the life expectancy of what is the life expectancy? If the life span column is expected. Life expectancy is not common for all the machines at all times. Moreover, one more thing which you are supposed to understand is, suppose a motor is running for 8 hours in a shift, and if it can work for about 30 years, I need a reply for this. Those who are not actually listening to it, kindly listen. If a motor can run for 30 years in a shift during the working days, that is 300 days in a year, the lifespan is about 30 years. Suppose if the same motor is being used for all the 3 shifts, what will be the lifespan? Will it reduce to 10, or it will be in between 10 and 30, or it will be 30?